Hello.
Oh, how you doing?
Hi.
You look like you have a very interesting background.
my Google Analytics instructions.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. No.
Fun stuff. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Emily.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Very good.
All right, can you guys still hear me?
A little bit less, but yeah. Hi, Joanna.
Hi.
All right. Does anybody have any questions for me or anything from the last week that they'd like to start with?
Do you have any questions? According to
My
Monster
phone's
Chat,
listening to me one
only
second.
say yes when an interviewer asks if you have questions. Surprisingly.
All right, cool. Sorry. So yeah, does anybody have any questions for me before I jump into things? Today, what I'm going to be training on is just, since a lot of the team members are new, just like 10 minutes of animoto, and then spending the rest of our time mostly going over Pinterest. I think coschedule for the most part is pretty straightforward. So yeah, I guess I'll start there. Has everybody had a chance to look at animoto at least a little bit? Okay. Let me just bring up my screen real quick. So the homework going forward is just, let's make one video every single week. I'll take a look at the video and then give you guys my feedback on them, and we'll just, treat that as just like an ongoing skill that you want to practice, is, making good videos. I think everybody's pretty either, familiar with Canva or something similar to Animoto. So I was trying to find a recording of me doing a video with a team previously, but I couldn't. So
How long do you want those videos to be, Jeffrey?
the length of the video, is, I would say, 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off any topic on the blog?
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Today I'm going to assign everybody a blog, a post, so they create a couple co-schedule posts in there. Don't want to spend a lot of time in there, because I think the most important piece to making a good co-schedule post is to either create a custom image or create a custom video for it. So spend the majority, make 2 or 3 posts on coschedule just to get familiar with it. Because we'll be going over next week, putting the videos into the coschedule posts, as well as really just training on Pinterest going forward. Facebook ads, I think you guys have heard from me, I'll be kind of doing on an individual basis once you've got a good handle on Animoto and a good handle on the Pinterest side of things. So so Emily, I see yours here, so I'm going to just edit yours real quick. And the first thing I'm going to mention, I'm not sure if I gave you guys all access to this, is video blocks. Did I give this to everybody? It's a website that I have a subscription for, that you can basically download video footage for, since I've paid for the subscription. So I'm
Is
going
it
to drop
video blocks or story blocks?
story block. It used to be called video blocks. Story blocks is the website. Video blocks used to be the video piece of the story blocks website.
Oh, okay.
You can
So
just
I
go to
have the
story blocks.
information to story blocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll put that into the group right now. The most important part about making videos and Animoto in general is to just understand that the majority of the SEO that we are going to get from videos is usually going to come from Facebook ads. So this is my general process for pretty much any business. Let's find what I was working on recently. So whenever I have a video, the video is essentially a backlink to your web. Let me just bring up the client. I have way too many things open right now.
I'm just seeing the Skype page.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you you for letting me know that. Okay, so this is this is Google AdWords. And anytime you get a video, you're going to upload it to your YouTube channel, and you're going to put a link to your website in it. So this is essentially, so in this video is targeting Meridian General, which is the name of the project that this client is working for. Professional web development, which is the service that was offered for a Los Angeles investment firm, right? So that's the the keywords, location, and the type of company. So this video is a link on the YouTube website, right? You see youtube.com/watch equals www. So by uploading a video to YouTube, you're creating a page on their website, and you're able to then link to other websites. So any SEO that this video gets, which is the amount of views it gets, how much comments, engagements, etc., that it gets, it's going to send a little bit of the SEO to any link, to any websites that it's linked to. So if the idea here is we take a video once it's been uploaded to YouTube, and then we run ads on it. So I'll just open one up real quick. So this is an ad I started on 4/24. It really should be, so WordPress maintenance services, and it's got 649 views from YouTube ads. Now, the point I want to make is that if you look at how these ads get served, when you're on YouTube, you're watching a video, either during the video or at the end of the video, you'll get an ad, right? And the cheapest type of ad that you can pay for on YouTube is called a 5-second skippable, which means that the first 5 seconds are unskippable, and then at the 5-second mark, a button pops up that says skip this ad. So anybody that's at their computer and interested in what they're looking at is almost certainly going to skip the ad as soon as they can. In a lot of cases, people have secondary monitors or are and aren't really paying attention to YouTube and just have it kind of running on the side, or it runs on a television. Whatever the fact, or the people see the ad and it happens to be relevant to them, they might watch past the 5-second mark. But that's why you can see here that the first 5 seconds have essentially a 100% retention rate. And then after that, it drops off dramatically. So by the time you get to the 20-second mark, you've lost about 50% of your viewers. This is why the first 15 seconds of a video, the first 20 seconds of the video are incredibly important. And the first slide is more important than anything else. You got to get straight to the point. And this is a mistake that a lot of business owners make. For example, they'll have their logo pop up in the beginning. Well, that makes no sense for an ad, right? If you were watching an ad and all of a sudden, a logo for some random web design company popped up, you're not going to care as much as if they were like, do you have your WordPress website needs to be faster than 3 to 5 seconds. You can see that a company may not attract someone's attention, but if you get straight to the point and you get that call to action in the first slide or the second slide, you have a much, much higher chance of retaining a warm lead past that 5-second mark. So really, the first 2 to 3 slides of your video need to be the best slides of the video. If they aren't great, it doesn't matter how good the rest of the video is, because those people aren't going to stick around to watch it. So this is why I wanted to mention video blocks. Video blocks, you can go in here and let's just look at the most recent blog posts. Or actually, so this one is in the era of digital or information overload, create simple infographics for your business.
So we're just in Google Ads. Did you have something different?
Oh yeah, you're right. I always forget I have 2 monitors. So here's your video here. In this one, I would just get straight to the point. Create simple infographics for your business. For what reason? Because they provide easily digestible information. So you can see how you could have combined 2 slides into one, and you just want to you want to hook their attention as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So what I do then after I've figured out what kind of text I want on a page is I will we'll change the size of the text until I can fit them as evenly as I can on as few lines as possible. So if I wanted to fit it on 2 lines, you can see the text is kind of tiny. So I'm going to go up to 3 lines. Once I've gotten to like that point, where it went to 4 lines, I'll back it down to right before the 3, and then I'll hit enter at the provide and enter at and are critical to business performance. Now, what this allows you to do is make it small while retaining that grouping size. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
You know, whereas if I did it before like that, and I made it smaller, right? The words will collapse like that. And so it makes no sense to have 3 lines with only one word on the third line. It just doesn't even look good.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll go like that. And then this is really personal preference. I usually keep the text as large as possible because I'm thinking of mobile phones. But you know, sometimes I will just make it a little bit smaller like that. Now let's see. One thing I would like everybody to do is we're going to be using Lotto font. That's the closest font to the one that's on the website. So if you're ever working for another company or you know doing this kind of thing somewhere else, it's a good idea to use a website like What's the Font to figure out what the font is on a website. You can also, you know, if you can take a screenshot of something, upload that screenshot to What the Font, and it's going to try to figure out what font you're using. So another way you can do it is inspect element. If you inspect element, this is a pretty common web design skill. You click on any element on the website, it's going to tell you in here what the font is. But you know what the font is probably a little more intuitive than this. So where is it? Right there. Open Sans is the font that we're using on the website. So we're going to use Lotto just to keep things simple. Let's I would, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Anyways, I'm gonna have to put a video in there now. So we're gonna go, let's see if there's infographics here. Cool. So they do have some good videos for infographics. So. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but you get the idea. You can look through here, find one that you like, and download it. And then upload it to Animoto. So I usually put a video in the first, in the first 2 or 3 slides, because again, you want to make this as good looking a video in the beginning as possible. So instead of just having text on top of still images, which is essentially a slideshow, it feels more like a video by having some video footage in the background. Another thing is you're going to want to consider colors. Usually you're going to want to use the same colors that are in your branding. A good way to do that is with a program. This is something if you're on Windows, I use just Color Picker for capturing colors. So I can just scroll over any color on my computer and grab it, and it'll tell you what the HTML code is right there. You can then use this HTML code, same thing in Animoto. I'm going to go change color, background, put in our blue. And we don't always have to use our blue. I would just, in the beginning, what I would try focusing on is using one template to the best of your abilities and not trying to get too creative with things. And then once you've got a feel for it, then you can start to play around with templates a little bit more. I've been sometimes surprised by the templates that people pick. But for right now, my favorite ones are really Clean Cut. And Horizon is one that I use for a lot of lawyer companies. Some of these other ones like Smooth Sailing and Spring Cleaning and Calm Breeze, those look like ones that you might use as a travel company, right? Each one has kind of a different feel. So I mostly use Clean Cut, Horizontal, and I think it's High Rise. So I'll go back to Clean Cut just because it's the first one there. So a big thing that differentiates the different two themes is whether or not this overlay. Yeah, I don't know how to put it. The legibility, I guess, is the word that they use. The little boxes that show up on the text here, you can see it's not transparent. it's solid. So that really kind of determines if you have videos and or images where you think what's on, in the background should be more visible. This might not be the best theme for that. Okay, so there, the video's uploaded. I'll just drag it in there. I'm gonna change the layout just to full screen it. And then change the colors. So I'm gonna actually, yeah. So you can see how this one is slightly transparent behind it. So I'll go pick the blue. Simple, all right, create simple infographics for your business. They provide. I don't know if I like and are critical to business performance. So that's a sentence that, when you read it out loud, what does that exactly mean? If you have to think about it, probably there's a better way of putting it and or something more important that you can mention. This requires getting more specific. Are critical to business performance for what reasons? That's just way too vague, I think, to fit into that first slide. Provide quick, so instead what I'll do is creates simple infographics for your business. They provide quick and easily digestible information similar to videos. There's a quote that says, I don't know, I don't have it on me right now, but if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 10,000 or more. So meaning also mobile friendly. That is something to remember about videos. One of the reasons why video is so important, so powerful, is because it's mobile friendly. I think 70% of activity on mobile phones is on Facebook, and video is just a very popular format. So, and also mobile friendly. ... I very often, if there's two slides with information related to each other, I put a ... in there because it tricks the brain into thinking, it's kind of a teaser. They're going to be more likely, if they're interested by this in this slide, waiting for the next one. So I'll just delete that slide for now. Your graphics provide an easy way to engage with your audience quickly and efficiently. So quickly and efficiently, again, same thing. I'm not exactly very, I don't find those to be very helpful with your audience. So at this point, I might delete quickly and efficiently, right? And just Google this first part. Copy. Right, and now you can look. People also ask is one of my favorite parts of Google, because it ties into the YouTube thing more than most people think. People use YouTube for educational purposes, right? So a lot of people would rather watch a video to learn something than read a blog post, especially if that blog post doesn't have images or visual cues. So anything that shows up in the people also ask tends to be targeting keywords that might, that would lend itself to a video format. So, and what's also nice about people also ask is if you click on one question, 2 more questions pop up. And it kind of teaches you what questions lead into other questions and so on and so forth. In fact, this is a big part of my keyword strategy for clients. Here's an example of a mind map that I make, which is, just a program. So this eyelash extension is the keyword that I'm trying to target for this client. And this is the people also ask, PPA. So, do eyelash extensions ruin your natural lashes? Leads into, can you put mascara on eyelash extensions? What are the negatives of eyelash extensions? So it's a very easy way to kind of do keyword research. This kind of leads me into my next thing, using Ahrefs. Ahrefs is my main SEO program. It's basically you take keywords, you take websites, and you run them through this, through this program, and it spits out a bunch of numbers. So I can go take our website, seattleWebSearch.com, throw it in here, and it's going to tell me, how the SEO is. Now, Ahrefs uses public information that comes straight from Google, and Google doesn't release all information. Without getting into anything too technical, if you go to Google Analytics and you go under sources, there's going to be a source called not provided, because Google, for the most part, does protect your searches. If you go and search for anything, that information isn't publicly accessible to the public for the most part. It's usually only found through Google Analytics, through through an analytics platform that only you have access to, right? You only have access to your website's analytics, not the internet in general. What Ahrefs does is it pulls in, it sorts data based off of backlink scores. And what that means is it's really only seeing the top 25 most popular parts of the internet. And what I get to see is determined by how much you're willing to pay. And I already pay $500 a month for this program, and it'll only allow me to see up to rank position 50. So anything under 50 is invisible to me. You can see here, upgrade to see positions 51 to 100. But this program still serves as a great benchmark. The same limitations applies across the board. So if I look at two different websites, even though this isn't a full picture, it still gives me a lot of information that I can use to make decisions. So Ahrefs is something we're just gonna have to talk about in the long run. There's a million things that you can do in here, but the main one that I would pay attention to is Site Explorer. Very straightforward. You can run a website through it, and it's gonna tell you can look. They even have an eye over each part of it, and it kind of explains what the math is about. And you can see just this graph, right? Pretty straightforward. Usually I will go from here to top pages, because what this then tells you is which pages on that website are getting traffic or getting results. So this article, make a YouTube URL, auto subscribe link, gets 1,000 people a month. It's responsible for 43% of our traffic. This is the top keyword. That keyword gets 1,800 searches a month, and we're position 2 for it. So going back to what I said earlier about in algorithm layering, 70% of results clicks go on 1 through 3. 20% of results click on 4 through 10, and you can kind of see that in here, right? I broke the top 3 position for that one keyword, results in a lot of traffic. Position 7 on a keyword, right? Much lower. And if I'm not in the top 10, you usually won't see a lot of results. You'll get it's going to be all algorithm layering, which is really, how the overall big picture of the SEO for the whole website interacts. So from here, you can click on the keywords thing. It'll show you more than just the top keyword, other keywords here, et cetera, et cetera. So Site Explorer and Keyword Explorer are going to be like 50% of what you do in Ahrefs. I can now click on any one of these keywords, and it will tell me more about the keyword. Right, this gets 1,800 searches a month. This is the top result for it. If you scroll down, it'll show you the rest of the first page of Google, and there'll be a button to click to see more if you want to. So I got a little bit off topic there. I just wanted to kind of show you Ahrefs because, so Site Explorer and Keyword Explorer is really where you're normally going to start. I'll either give you a keyword or I'll give you a page on a website that, that we're going to need to do something with. Either we're going to create social media posts to kind of drive traffic to a certain keyword on our website, a certain page on a website, et cetera, et cetera. The second most common thing you do in Ahrefs is use it to get math from Google searches. If I Google something like this keyword, you can see there's results for this keyword. But this is a very long keyword. If I was to go into Keyword Explorer and type that in, it's going to tell me that it can't fetch any data, that it doesn't get any traffic because it's too long and too specific. I'm probably the only person in the last month that searched for this long and specific kind of keyword. Doesn't mean that things don't rank for it. So once you can see when if something doesn't show up in Ahrefs, that's what you will immediately go to Google, because just because something doesn't show up in Ahrefs doesn't mean that there aren't results for it. It's under, it's not in the most popular piece of the internet. And because of that, Ahrefs can't see it yet. So what you do here is once you Google something, you use a link clump, which is an extension in Chrome. And you put these settings on link clump, and I'll add these right now to the Skype chat. But basically, anytime I hold the right button, it's going to draw a box on my browser, and any links that fall in that box, it's going to copy. So here in the options, the action is copy to clipboard. What am I copying? URLs only. So I'm going to put this in the Skype chat. This is everybody should get this. Everybody should be using Chrome, and everybody should have link clump in their Chrome. So let me get the social media team. Well, Skype is lagging on me, so I'll do that in a moment. Okay, there we go.
Oh, Jeffrey, I'm not in the social media chat for Skype yet.
Okay, let me add you right now.
Okay.
What was your last name? JR, there we go. Gotcha.
Can you verify that I am? I think I am. Oh,
Yeah,
am
yep.
I? Yeah. Okay.
You're in there.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay, so just removing some old people. Okay. So those are the settings for link clump. Let me know if you run into any issues with it. But now you can, in Google, draw a box around the first page of results. And now I can use a tool in Ahrefs called batch analysis. And batch analysis just means you can scan more than one link at one time. So if I go and paste right now, what you'll see is a bunch of Google, or not a bunch of it, but you'll get a couple of these Google things in there, and you don't want to scan Google. It kind of throws off an SEO program, because Google is not really, you don't want giant websites like YouTube, the most popular websites on the internet on there, because it takes a while for Ahrefs to scan them up because they're massive. So you're normally going to want to delete Google stuff out of there like that. Scroll down, I don't see any more Google in there, so that's fine. And now I can hit analyze. So here, it's just going to tell me out of that first page of results, you can see the traffic column is usually the first place I'll look. And it's pretty obvious this one right here has significantly better results than the rest of them, right? So I'm going to click on that one. If you click on this little down arrow, it gives you other options on here. So I can now go overview. Because what I'm looking for is what keywords is this article actually getting traffic for? Because this is not a good keyword, right? It's a good sentence, but it's too long for a keyword. So in here now I can go organic keywords and color picker, other stuff in here. Am I in the right article? Why is this? Oh, okay. So this is here. You can search for exact URL, which is what I should have done. Prefix means if it was /blog, anything that is under the blog URL would be scanned. And domain means that it scans everything and anything. Domain with some domains, domain with all its subdomains. So what I really wanted was just URL, because when I had domain with all its subdomains, I was seeing a keyword color picker here, but for a page completely unrelated to the one that I originally scanned. So I definitely want what is an infographic, and I want by URL. So infographic examples, et cetera, et cetera. So I got a little bit off topic there, but what I was really looking for is a sentence to replace this. Infographics provide an easy way to engage with your audience. So I'll just open this link up and see if I can't find engage. There we go. So that's a good sentence that kind of, says what you were trying trying to say, right? With a kind of more of a specific example, right? An easy way to engage with your audience. When you have paragraphs of text on your page, which can with engagement, right? Something like that. And since I put a ... on this slide, I want to make sure it kind of makes sense. Yeah, so I'm just trying to go through this as quickly as possible, but you know, if I'm mentioning mobile friendly on this page at the end of the paragraph, and then I go ... the next slide should really, you know, talk about something that's mobile friendly. In a way, this does, so that's actually good, which helps on mobile. Oops. So the main things to remember is that think about the first 3 slides more than you think about anything else. If you can't, that's what you need to get good at. What happens beyond that point is not always important. You know, if the general idea when it comes to a simple YouTube strategy is you don't want to spend a lot of time distributing your content. You want to take do it, I don't know if lazy is the right word for it, but a time efficient way. You use YouTube ads to do all the hard work for you. Well, unless you want to spend a lot of money, you're not going, you know, you're going to, for the most part, just kind of want to stay efficient. And to do that, I set the minimum for a campaign. So this campaign, the testing campaign, can only spend $1 a day. For every single ad in that campaign, our maximum cost per view is 2 cents. That means that's the maximum amount of money that we're willing to spend. Why do we do that? Because if someone is only willing to spend 1 cent, then we're still going to outbid the cheapest people possible. But we're not going to get into bidding wars with anybody else, because anyone that's willing to spend more than 2 cents is probably likely willing to spend a lot more than 2 cents. And you don't want to get into get into bidding wars. So what ends up happening then is that certain videos are going to perform better than others just based off of what's popular on a YouTube channel. You know, if you had 2 videos, one that talks about cats and one that talks about nuclear fission, the cats video is obviously going to get served a lot more than the nuclear fission video, just because people use YouTube to watch cute cat videos. Nobody probably learns nuclear fission on YouTube. So because of that, the amount of opportunities out there for a nuclear fission video to get served as a YouTube ad, so much lower. So that's kind of what we're doing in these campaigns is I run every single video through the testing campaign, and over time, I will take the videos that perform the best, which essentially have the most opportunities for YouTube ads, and move them out of this initial campaign into another campaigns. Because you can see here that for this client, this WordPress maintenance services video has eaten up 600 views out of the 1,900 total views, almost a third of the budget. By taking this video out of the campaign and segmenting it into its own campaign, you're basically taking all the high-performing videos and putting them into a high-performing campaign where they compete with each other. And then you'll be able to tell out of all your high-performing videos which of those are the best. And then the same thing, by moving those high-performing videos out of this testing group, suddenly a third of the budget is opened up for some of the ones that were performing, that don't perform as well as that first video. You can kind of see what your second or third best video is. Again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get results without spending a ton of money, without getting into bidding wars. And then over time, the ones that are in the high performing campaign, we almost always revisit and make new versions of them, either targeting other keywords. So in this case, WordPress maintenance services, I would probably make one for WordPress maintenance services for dentists, WordPress maintenance services for, try to get more specific, and again, just make a higher quality video, since at this point we know that that video is going to perform on YouTube. In the beginning, it's better to make 20 videos with great 15-second intros than to make 3 videos that are good front to back, right? Because you don't even know if those 3 videos are targeting a keyword phrase that may necessarily get maybe popular on YouTube. And a lot of this actually has to do with your local audience, because we always want to focus on local SEO in the beginning. It's where you can get results the fastest. It's where you have a natural advantage. So in Google AdWords, we will put a location in here. So in this case, it's Bellevue, which is the city that this business is located in. So even if she was, let's say, a cat shelter, and for some reason people in Bellevue hated cats, what you might intuitively think is going to be a good keyword may not necessarily be the case because of just your, the audience that you're trying to target. So yeah, that's to recap with Animoto, because I want to jump over to Pinterest. Focus on the first 15 seconds. That's the part that I'm really gonna be paying attention to. And if you do your best job there, the rest of it will work on over time. It's just not that important. It's nowhere near as important as the first 15 seconds. So always put a video block thing in there. There's other ways to get videos besides video block. I use Zoom to record my screen. I do that, SEO is one of those kinds of subject matters where there may not be a ton of video footage. Sorry, we couldn't find any videos that meet your selected criteria. So often I'll just have to use a different one of these recommendations that they have, or use something like Zoom to automatically record my screen. If it's, if I'm automatically recording my screen, now I can just, if I'm making a video on Google Analytics, I just go to Google Analytics, do a couple things in Google Analytics, and Zoom automatically can record that into an MP4. If you don't have Zoom, there's plenty of other tools that you can use. If you're on Windows, let me just drag over this is kind of horrifying how many things I've opened, so don't judge me. Just move this over. So this is, if you're on Windows and you actually have a screen recording built into your graphics card most of the time, especially if you have an NVIDIA graphics card. So NVIDIA, right there in the taskbar, if you open that up, you should have a screen recorder in there as well. If you're having trouble, I'd recommend trying to figure out how to record your screen, because it will open up a world of possibilities that just otherwise isn't available if you're always using stock footage. So Alex, which was a supervisor of our team, previously made a video of it. So I'll find that video for you guys and put it in the Skype chat. But for right now, let's just remember video blocks. Video blocks will serve you. You just, if you're using video blocks 24/7, you may eventually run into a situation where a certain keyword, certain type of stuff isn't in there, and or you may run out. There's only so many videos in here. So, all right. So everybody, let's make one video this week. Let me assign everybody a blog post. Is anybody currently working on videos for a certain blog post? Okay, so Emily, you can take the writing engaging content for people.
Okay.
Logo design trends, that's gonna be, let's do, Kelly, you can do this SEO friendly Instagram practices. That should be a pretty easy one for video blocks. So these ones that, website navigation for SEO, I'm not gonna find a video on video blocks for that. So until we learn how to record our screen, we'll kind of hold off on that one. That one too, that one too. Actually, Emily, since you're already working on this one, how about you just continue working on the infographics one?
Sorry, you cut out there. What'd you say?
Since you were working on one for this article, just go ahead and take what we went over today and improve those first 3 slides to the best you can. You'll have this one. Kelly gets the Instagram one, and then Johanna, you can have the write engaging content one.
Okay. So redo my video. You want it to be 2 to 3 minutes, but the biggest focus is the first 15 seconds.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And
And then
remember, sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, I wasn't sure, like, if, so I don't have username information for a lot of the stuff that you're mentioning.
Okay,
Today?
what don't you have?
Well, so I don't have any information for co-schedule to get in, AREFs,
Well, the-
actually anything that you were doing, I don't have any access to.
Well,
I
let
just
me-
have
let me get it all.
Animoto and Pinterest.
Okay, here's
Yeah, same for me
Ahrefs.
too.
Here's Ahrefs. So for the most part, let's forget Ahrefs right now. I think we're going to need a little bit more time to train on that one.
Okay,
If everybody could get Chrome installed on their computer and get Link Clump installed on their Chrome, we'll spend more time on Ahrefs next week. And I will remote into each one of your computers and walk you through it on your end.
okay.
Then here is video blocks.
I'm sorry, I do have story blocks.
Okay, you have story blocks? Johanna, do you
Yeah.
have story blocks?
No, I don't.
Let me put it in here then.
Okay, thank you.
So I don't think we're gonna have time for Pinterest today. Looking at the time, we only have 20 minutes. So instead, what I'll do is I'll just walk you through coschedule. We're gonna have to save Tailwind. I'll also put in the Skype chat, you know, what to do. Create one video, sign blog post, focus on first 15 seconds, or first 15 seconds, 2 to 3 slides. Two. Install Chrome. And link. Put the link for Link Clump in there as well. Here's also the playlist that has all our previous recordings in there. I'm gonna try to find which of the videos are most important for you guys to watch. But if you know, there's like 100 hours worth of trainings in there. So there, if you want to, there's stuff about Facebook ads, there's stuff about Pinterest, Ahrefs, top to bottom. You know, pretty much everything that we've done previously with the social media team. So I'm going to try to, you know, figure out which are the best parts of it for you guys to watch, but feel free to, you know, browse through it. Videos, playlists. Okay, so I'm going to try to, you can see how this one says parentheses Facebook ads. I was going through it earlier today and starting to do that, and I'll finish that. You say this one, you can see this video from 8/04/2020. It's about coschedule. And that 3 star there means that there's 3 timestamps in the video. So the timestamps you can either find in the description or in the comments, and feel free to add comments with timestamps. They're just to help you navigate. So if you click here, that's the 41-minute and 18-second piece, you know, part of the video, and it's going to be showing the blogging team a YouTube playlist. Right. So the timestamps, the videos with timestamps are going to be more easily to navigate, and that's why I'm putting those in the title, just so you know which ones have those, you know, pieces. Okay, so coschedule. Let's get everybody into that. Does everybody have a work email then?
Yes.
Do you have one, Johanna?
Oh, no, not yet. I just got the email last night to set it up for
Okay.
Gmail.
When you've made your Gmail, just let me know and I'll add you into WordPress.
Okay.
Oh, I'm also not in WordPress.
I'm gonna get you in there right now.
Oh, okay.
Emily, since you have a WordPress website, right? You were working on
Oh.
one, or was it you, Johanna, that was working on a WordPress website? I might be getting this mixed up.
I have a Wix website that
Oh,
I was
Wix.
working on.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, mine doesn't have a period.
Oh, that's just your username.
Oh, cool.
You know, always a good idea to add something weird in there in case the hacker is trying to crack it. All right. So the login is /team. It isn't /login. You know, again, that's to prevent hackers, really. So, and then your username is,
I just see YouTube.
I messaged it to you directly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, Jeffrey, I was also needing the Animoto login information, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we are getting down to the last 10 minutes of the hour. I have a video on coschedule, so I think I'll just have you guys look at that first. I think coschedule is pretty intuitive. It's really no different from posting to Facebook directly. So the only thing that's different about it is that you log into WordPress to do it. So once you're logged into WordPress, you can go to any page on the internet or any page on the website. So Emily, in your case, we'll go down to infographic run, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to edit post. So coschedule is built directly into WordPress. So if you just scroll down farther, you'll get Yoast SEO, which is something we'll go over, have to go over soon. Yoast SEO essentially is, you know, the SEO piece of WordPress. This is where you put in whatever your focus keyword is going to be, and then it, you know, you try to optimize your title and your meta description so that you can rank for that keyword. You know, to put it simply, whatever your focus keyword is, it should go into your title directly, exactly as it is. And then in the meta description, you should have some combination of these keywords. They don't have to be in the exact same order as they should be in the title. The meta description is more for convincing a human being to click on the snippet. And the snippet is just what shows up in the search engine. You know, if I go to the search engine and I search for how to create an infographic, what you're going to get is 10 snippets. The featured snippet, which is, you know, the top result, gets a little bit more, you know, real estate here. You can see each one of these is a snippet. It's a link, a hyperlink, a title, and a meta description. So this piece of the, you know, of WordPress is just helping you to optimize how that shows up, which is essentially the summary of the page. So if you scroll down further, you'll eventually get to coschedule. So in here, you press the plus, and you can make a social message. And this is identical to Facebook, just with less options, right? You can tweet the text. So if I view the post, let's see, engagement. Oops. You know, just to move forward, I'm just going to pick this, but this is the most simple way of making posts, is just copy and pasting text from the actual article. But which is, I think, fine for right now. I really just want you to get a feel for coschedule. But you know, when I was doing you know, keyword research for the article, you know, looking for those for the infographic stuff, that's another way to get. God, I really need to clean up my windows. Link clump, it must be on this one. Right, so, you know, using Ahrefs, I can find other content that I could use in the post, right? So infographics are a breath of fresh air, right? So you can use much more than just the copy from, you know, from the article. I'm going to put that one in there, and I'm going to select Facebook, Twitter. Instagram doesn't work because it's got a link in there. You know, and now that's scheduled for today. Hit the tomorrow, right? Same thing. Take that text that I copied from that other website, but it's still relevant for this one. You know, it's you know, still good information for promoting this type of content. And same thing. In most cases, I will not want to use the default focus image again. You would hit the plus here, at which point we'd either use Canva or put a link to a YouTube video in there. You know, we'll have to get into this in more detail. There's obviously a lot of ways to kind of make social media posts. So I think once we've got those videos, we'll start to use those videos to get more into, you know, the kind of stuff that we can use coschedule for. So this is also Canva. You know, you can make images in Canva and drop them in here. Right. So yeah, just Johannes, if you can get that email to me sooner than later, I'll get your account set up. So yeah, let's get back to Skype. So the homework for the week: create one video. Let me know when you're ready for me to take a look at it. It'd be nice for me to take a look at it before our meeting next week. You know, send maybe some preliminary feedback back. So number 3, make some coschedule posts for your assigned article.
So Jeffrey, I had scheduled a meeting with you for Thursday, a one-on-one. Do you want me to keep that meeting with you?
Yeah, so let me think about that. I think it kind of depends if I can find what I was looking for in that playlist.
Okay.
Johanna, if you can make it, what time was it again, Emily? It was on Thursday at noon.
I think so, yeah.
Johanna, if that works for you, I don't mind doing a double training session. That I think that can make sense. Kind of get you guys caught up a little bit.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Because today I meant to make today's meeting about Pinterest and Tailwind, and we didn't even get to that. So,
That's okay. Thursday's fine for me at noon.
okay, great. Then let's keep that time. I'll add you to the calendar to the
Okay.
the time right now.
And then Jeffrey, before you leave, I have a question totally not having to do with the internship.
Mhm.
I don't know if you want me to ask now or,
Yeah, go ahead.
so are you taking on new SEO clients?
Yeah, take them on all the time. Yeah.
Okay, because I don't know if you remember when we first talked, my other job that I have is a jewelry company out of the Bay Area. And she needs to work on her website and her SEO. So I was thinking about talking to you about that process and what it would look like and pitching it to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is that the kind of thing that if she worked with you for, 3 or 4 months, then she kind of would get her SEO dialed in and wouldn't need to keep continually paying, or is that like
Yeah.
an ongoing?
That part is entirely up to the client. Because I use Zoom, pretty much everything I've ever done, at least in the last 3 years, is recorded. This includes our training sessions, the intern team training sessions, employee training sessions, and my calls with my clients as well. There is other playlists in here. I've even recorded every lead I've ever gotten. So any client I've ever gotten, there's a recording somewhere of me convincing that person to do business with me. So yeah, and I think that's kind of one of the main issues with SEO is it's impossible to teach you everything in 6 months. That's the length of the internship. So in reality, if you want to learn more, the material's all there. I've all recorded it before. And it's all available to clients too. I would say maybe 5-10% of clients actually take advantage of it and actually watch the videos. So, but yes, I like to train my clients on how to do whatever they're willing to do, because that's how you really up the return on investment. At the end of the day, if there's 100 things that an SEO guy needs to do, if you can do the 20 easiest things in that list, it forces him to do the more complicated, more difficult stuff. And I unfortunately do end up doing a lot of things that I, in my opinion, don't think someone should be paying someone to do. Something like creating your Google My Business profile. It really, really frustrates me when people haven't done their Google My Business. This takes 5 seconds and it's essential if you have a website, you've got to have a Google My Business. This is not something you should be paying an SEO person for.
Gotcha. So I know you said previously you used to build websites, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I really don't know. I'm pretty new at all this social media, as you know, but I mean, if we get hundreds of hits a day and we don't make a sale, I think that's amazing, which we do sometimes.
Oh, what do you mean exactly?
Well, I can go in and look how many, I look on Shopify or some site for our website, and we maybe will have 600 people visiting a day, but we don't make one sale. Okay.
Yeah, well, so that going back to that algorithm layering thing, if you're number 20 on the second page of Google, you're in the algorithm layering range of getting warm leads. But how many warm leads come to your website is more a result of your overall SEO presence. Do you rank for 100 keywords? If you rank for 100 different keywords, getting to position 20 for any one of them can be very valuable. But if you get to rank 20 for only one of 5 keywords that you rank on the website for, that algorithm layering isn't going to be anywhere near as effective. So if you're getting traffic to your website, your traffic is going up, you just got to stick with it. At some point, that traffic will turn into conversions. And how quickly that happens is a much more complicated question that I'd have to kind of dig into every single piece that they've got going for them.
Okay.
And then see where the competition is at also.
So do you create specific quotes for different clients, or is that?
No, we've got a very flat kind of pricing
But-
system. If you go to seattlewebsearch.com/pricing, you'll see, but it's basically $7.50 a month.
Okay,
And, you know, that's 2 videos plus, you know, 2 or 3 meetings a month on top of, you know, just that's the thing is SEO for each client is different. You know, some clients come to me and they have a Facebook presence. Most of them come to me and they have a Facebook presence. Some of them have an Instagram presence. You know, some of them have no social media at all. Some of them haven't even created a Pinterest account. You know, some of
So
them
if I
have
wanted to
500 blog
schedule-
posts. Some
if I
have
wanted to schedule a meeting with you and my boss to talk about procuring your services, would that be fine?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just
Okay,
just go ahead and Skype me on that and I'll get you whatever you need to set that up.
okay, well, I'm gonna pitch it to her and see if I can get her on board with that.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, well, thank you.
All right, so I'm putting in the blog team playlist into the Skype chat as well. Again, this is all just additional things that you can learn, you know, additional training resources you can use if you feel like it. I probably hold off on the blog team playlist maybe for another meeting or two, so I can just kind of show you Ahrefs myself. Otherwise, it's, you know, but there's a lot more SEO related skills on the website that falls into the blog team, you know, playlist. There's a lot of coschedule in there as well. I mean, in general, these recordings and these playlists, I'm going to try to organize them for you so it's easier to get to the best pieces. But you know, if you feel like getting into them, again, if you just read the titles, they'll tell you which ones are the most valuable. You know, so this one, where is it?
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have to go to another meeting at 11.
Okay, yeah, I see that too. I'll let everybody go there. If you guys have any individual questions, just go ahead and reach out to me. I'll be meeting with you all both, you know, later this week anyways. So
Thank you.
you guys have a good rest of your day.
You
Thank
too.
you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Joanna.